Slide 5, remember to watch and listen, as well as write down everything you see in the video. So we have an inequality. 2 parentheses t minus 5 is greater than 3, and then t plus 1. So I'm going to show you guys something that is going to make your life a lot easier. Up until this point, I've been using test mode, but on the college prep class, I don't think we have to do that. If you just type in the question and then change your t's to x's, it's going to graph it for you. And then our dot, if you tap the dot, you can see that point. And that point is negative 13, 0. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back and sketch it. And if you noticed, it was, let me put that back up for you, a dashed line going up and down through that point, negative 13, 0. And we're shading that green part is to the left. So we're going to sketch our graph. And then I'm going to do it even in that same color. So we had the dashes, and then the shading was here, and then the point right there was negative 13, 0. Okay, so that's going to tell your answer. We have in a point, remember x, y, and we change those to x's. So what you're going to write down is you're going to write down 2 parentheses x minus 5 is greater than 3 parentheses x plus 1. You're going to draw the picture, and then what we're going to do is we're going to say x, and what is the x value? The x value was that negative 13. And then we have to know what symbol to put in. The symbols to put in could be less than, greater than. We could also do less than or equal to, or greater than or equal to. These ones down on the bottom, and I just covered up what I wanted to show you, have the underlines on them, the or equal to, and that means that it's going to be a solid line. The ones on the top means that it's going to be a dashed line. It's not equal to every spot on that line. It's going to be one side or the other. Whenever you're looking this way, less than means left or lower. These right here, greater than, mean to the right or higher. Okay, so right here, where did I shade? From here, if I put my pencil or pen or finger or whatever to get to the shaded area, I'm shading to the left. That's going to be a less than symbol. Because the line is dashed, that means that we don't put the underline on it, and this is our final answer. So to get you some points, you show this, and you have the answer. That's not going to be full points. If you want full points, what you can do is you can go back in and you can plug in, pick a number, any number that is less than negative 13. So you can keep traveling that way, and you can pick a number like negative 15 maybe. And you can plug it in, negative 2 times negative 15 minus 5. And we're going to get an answer on that side and see if it is, in fact, going back to the original, we're going to see if this one side is bigger than the other. So we can go type that in. 2 negative. Oh, I did it again. Let's go. Here we go. So we're going to say 2 times, and then when I plug things in, I'm going to use parentheses, minus 5, and then we're going to plug it into the other side 3 times, and then we picked negative 15, so put your parentheses. And so the question is, they're not going to be equal because there's the inequality symbol right there. So the left side should be bigger than the right side. Is that negative 40 bigger or greater than negative 42? And the answer is yes, because it's closer to the positive side. It's not just the number because of the negative. So that means we did it right. If you have all of those steps, that is one way We got negative 40 and negative 42, and we said those were bigger. Yes, that is one way that you can get all of your points. You can also, oh, we need to actually fill in the answer. You can also show your work by hand, and I can show you that for those of you that want to see it, but let's fill in the answer. We have T, and then in this case we used X, but that's the same as T. And then we're going to fill in our less than symbol, and then we're going to type a negative 13 before we move on Schoology. For those of you that would like to see it by hand, I'm going to work through that very quickly. And that was a plus. My finger didn't make sure that, I just went back and saw that. Make sure that that's an ugly plus. Make sure that's a plus. So whenever you have things next to the parentheses, you multiply. And then I'm going to move my numbers over to the other side so that they zero out. And then I'm going to move my letters to the other side so they zero out. And I'm going to total, this is a negative 1x is greater than 13. When you have things next to your x, right next to them, that means multiply. So we're going to undo with divide. So the ones and the negatives go away. But there's a rule, when you flip, you're multiplying or dividing your variable by a negative. So we have to flip that around. So what we really have is x equals, and then the answer to this is negative 13. And so that's the same answer that we got. And that would be how you do it by hand if you wanted to. Please make sure that you have your answers typed in before you go to the next question.